Hi, it's time to read again. In our last chapter of Hank Zipner, I got a D in salami. We left Hank after he had just taken the test to see how he learns best. He felt some parts went okay and some parts didn't, but he felt okay about it until he heard that he'd have to wait a week to find out how he did. He got kind of nervous, wondering if he could come back to school or not. Chapter 23 and 24, I'm going to read in this section. Chapter 23. When I am nervous, my body turns into a fountain. If I'm a little bit nervous, my forehead gets damp. If I'm medium nervous, my palms start to sweat. If I'm really nervous, my armpits get involved. And when I'm scared, my back actually sweats. That may be too much information for you, but there it is. I've said it. As I sat outside Principal Love's office, all of the above were happening at once. Sweat was trickling out of every part of me that could trickle. They had been inside there for half an hour. Principal Love, Dr. Berg, and my mom and dad. They said they wanted to review the test results in private before calling me in. I knew if my tests had turned out normal, my parents would have been out in 2 or 3 minutes. I mean, how long does it take to say, "Great kid you got there"? Not half an hour, I can tell you that. Mr. Rock had seen me waiting in the hallway. He said he was really glad my parents had agreed to get me tested. He thought life at PS 87. I think PS means public school. I'm not sure. He said my life at PS 87 was going to be much better for me now. Before he left, he handed me a pack of tissues and said I could keep them for mopping myself up. It was nice of him not to mention that I was sweating like a hog. After I used the tissues to dry my face, I wadded each one up into a ball and shot them into the wastebasket with my foot. Oh, remember, he's good at using his foot to do things. I made 7 out of 7 shots. So sitting in the hallway isn't a total loss. Frankie came running downstairs, two at a time. "How'd you get out of class?" I asked him. "I volunteered to take the attendance to the office," he said. "Any news from Mole Man?" "Not yet. I'm pretty nervous." "Release the tension, Zip," he suggested. "Let it flow up your spine and out your third eye." The third eye is a yoga term for someplace on your body. I have no idea where, but I keep looking for it. "What kind of freak has 3 eyes?" asked the big nasty voice from behind us. That could only be one person. It was Nick McKelty, the last person you want to see when you're waiting to find out if you're normal or not. "How's the boy genius?" Nick the Tick asked, pointing toward me. "They figured out what's wrong with you yet?" Frankie waved his hand around in the air. "Zagawing," he said. "That means disappear, McKelty." "Miss Adolph sent me to find you," Nick said to Frankie. "She thought you got lost." "Why would she send you?" asked Frankie. "You couldn't find your way out of a paper bag." "Oh, yeah?" said McKelty. He scratched his huge blonde hair, trying to think of a comeback. "Oh, yeah," he said one more time. Then he turned back and went back to class. He's a swift one, that McKelty. The door opened and Dr. Berg stepped out. "Hank, we're ready for you now," she said. "They're going to tell me I'm stupid," I whispered to Frankie. "Right, and my name is Bernice," he whispered back. I took a deep breath and walked into the office. My mom was holding a yellow pad with her notes. My dad had a report in a blue cover. My name was printed on the outside. It was thick, probably 20 pages long. Wow, someone had a lot to say about me. "We've had a nice chat with your parents," Dr. Berg began. "I want to begin by telling you how much I appreciate your cooperation during the test, Hank. You put out your best effort, and I'm proud of you." That wasn't sounding good at all. I played enough soccer to know when a coach talks about good effort, he's usually talking about the losing team. "We've gone over your test results," Dr. Bergs went on. You have exceptional verbal and reasoning skills. Verbal is like how he talks, and reasoning is thinking about things and like doing puzzles. And an outstanding vocabulary. Ooh, that means he uses a lot of words. Great creativity and superior intelligence. Ooh, doesn't sound so bad already. You mean I'm smart? I asked. I felt all the tension going up my spine and out my third eye, wherever that is. Yes, Hank, you are. But along with that, no, I thought, no. Don't say anything more. Just stop right there. Tell me I'm smart. The tests also show you have some learning challenges that have been getting in the way of your school performance, she said. Well, there it was. I have learning challenges. The truth was out. I didn't know what to think. So what you're saying is I'm smart and stupid at the same time? Absolutely not. You're not stupid at all, Hank, Dr. Berg answered. Everybody learns in different ways. Our job is to find out the best way for you to learn. And I think we can do that. How? Oh, there are lots of ways, she said. We're going to start by working on your study skills so we can help you focus better. Okay, that didn't sound so bad. Sometimes I learn something and then I forget it overnight, I said. Is that because I don't focus? Perhaps. We're going to talk to your teacher about letting you get information in different ways, like listening to tapes, for example. I like tapes. This actually was sounding pretty good. Listening and watching, I said. I can do that. Good, she answers. And we'll give you all the time you need to take your tests. Extra time on tests? Man, I felt like I wanted to jump out of my chair and give Dr. Berg a big kiss on the cheek. Wait a minute. As I thought more about that, I wasn't sure how I felt about it. I mean, Frankie and Ashley would be finished and at home having dinner, and I'd still be at school taking a test. Are you mad at me? I asked them. For what? My mom asked. For having learning differences. My mom reached out and took my hand. Of course not, honey. We're going to help you in every way we can. Good, I said. How about 2 real chocolate puddings, not carbo puddings, every night for dessert? I think that would help me a lot. He's thinking about food. Same old Hank, my father said. He sounded grumpy, but he was actually smiling. We'll all be keeping close track of your progress, said Principal Love. Uh-oh, that sounded to me like I was going to put on extra mole time with the Principal Love and the Statue of Liberty right there on his face. Does that mean I'll be coming to see you more often, I asked. Not that I don't enjoy our visits, of course. I hope that your schoolwork improves. We'll see an improvement in your behavior too, said Principal Love. I noticed that I had stopped sweating. If you have questions about this, don't be afraid to ask, said Dr. Berg. She stood up. I put out my hand in the basic handshake position Papa Pete had taught me. She took my hand and shook it. Thank you, I said to Dr. Berg. Thank you for everything. And you know what? And you know what? I mean it. Chapter 24. That night we made a homework chart and I taped it on the bathroom wall over my desk. On one side we wrote the name of every subject I studied in school. Next to each subject, we made boxes for every night of the week. When I finished my homework in each subject, I would get a sticker in the box. That's not fair, said Emily. I want stickers too. The next night, Papa Pete came over with a surprise. He brought 2 big rolls of stickers. The ones with the snakes on them were for Emily. The ones with the Mets baseball and Shea Stadium were mine. You're going to make the World Series of homework, Papa Pete said. Papa Pete and I went outside on the balcony and sat down. It was cold, but we felt warm with our big jackets on. Papa Pete took out a plastic bag from his pocket. He took out 2 pickles, our favorite snacks. He handed me a garlic dill and took the other for himself. They were so juicy that they squirted when we bit into them. Hank, let me know if I get any seeds in these old handlebars. Handlebars are like his mustache. It's like curled. I looked at his mustache. You're all clear, Papa Pete. We sat there for a minute, crunching on our pickles and just enjoying the night air. Look at the moon, he said. If you crane your neck around the corner of the balcony, sometimes you can see the moon. It's so round. Guess what that reminds me of? Papa Pete asked. When most grown-ups ask you to guess something, they don't really want you to. Papa Pete does. Give me a clue, I said. It's something you eat. A ball of cheddar cheese. He shook his head no. Give me another clue. Something your mother makes. A matzo ball. He shook his head no. One more clue, I begged. Something your mother specializes in. A slice of soy salami. Bingo, he said. I was quiet. I still felt really terrible about ruining my mom's chances at the big order for Mr. Gristliano. I hadn't been able to say the word soy salami since. I really messed up her chances, didn't I? I asked. And she was so excited about it, too. The good thing about mistakes is that sometimes we have a chance to make them right, said Papa Pete. I can't fix what I did. There's no way. Papa Pete didn't answer. He just sat there, finishing his pickle. Then he got to his feet. If you think of some way, he said. I happen to be free tomorrow afternoon. You're a smart boy. Think it over. I thought in the shower. I thought while I was putting on my pajamas. I thought while I was brushing my teeth. By the time I had put my head on the pillow, I was done thinking. I had thought of a plan. Wow. How is he going to fix his problem? How is he going to get that account back from his mom, for his mom? Got any ideas?